Hey everyone, Golden here, and yes, I know it's been 3 months since I last posted up a review. I have been meaning to get back to doing them much sooner, but things like personal life, illness, and a holiday in Orlando, Florida happened. During which time, we have had a new Equestria Girls special, a premiere date for Season 8, and far more information about the future of MLP than we really should have had. But I still have 4 episodes of Season 7 left to cover, and they're not going to review themselves, so let's finally get back up to date with the show, resuming with Once Upon a Zeppelin. Twilight is invited to join her family on a much-needed vacation on board a Zeppelin, but her plans for a fun time are quickly dashed when she learns that the trip was secretly organised as a princess meet-and-greet opportunity for all the other guests. Despite her intentions to get away from princess duties, Twilight doesn't want to be the cause of disappointment for anyone on the cruise, especially her family, and reluctantly agrees to a series of jobs to ensure that doesn't happen. This episode is the first to be written by Brittany Jo Flores, whose only other notable credit seems to be as a former writer and script coordinator on a show called Skylanders Academy. And after watching her debut offering for My Little Pony, I really hope she doesn't become a one-episode wonder, because Once Upon a Zeppelin is simply fantastic. And so much of that just comes from an excellent script, one that is so well written that I'm genuinely surprised that it's from a first-time writer. Brittany just adapts to everything so naturally that it feels like she's been writing for the show for years. I remember one of the earliest criticisms before it aired was the apparent absence of Spike, as if to suggest that he wasn't really considered part of Twilight's family. Fortunately, that matter is immediately and brilliantly addressed in the cold opening, where he's the one who literally pushes Twilight to take some time off while he stays behind to cover her stacks of paperwork. The premise is a great way to get all the family together and provide each of them with at least one moment or quality that makes them all stand out. First we have the parents, Twilight Velvet and Nightlight, who make their proper introduction to the series here. I know we saw them in Season 6 in The Crystalling, but given that they didn't feature until the very last scene, and their voices were Tara Strong and Andrew Francis practically emulating Twilight in shining armour and just speaking in a deeper tone, their inclusion definitely felt very last minute. This time the couple are voiced by Patricia Drake and Charlie Demers, both of whom do a top-notch job giving them more distinct and unique voices and personalities. They're both enthusiastic, and the mother particularly has quite an upbeat and adventurous side to her, as she participates in activities like a barrel ride down a waterfall, but they can also be pretty naive, as seen by how they simply accepted the prize holiday without giving a second thought to reading any small print. Shining has a running joke where he repeatedly denies having air sickness, which remains amusing throughout and isn't overdone, while Cadence really shines as the preoccupied mother and concerned sister-in-law, worried about the amount of tasks that Twilight is doing at the expense of her own pleasure and relaxation. Speaking of which, the numerous tasks in question are initiated by the surprise return of Iron Will. Now retired from being an assertive motivational speaker and working as a holiday package organizer, his convincing methods of manipulation and the way he uses them to constantly keep Twilight busy and away from her family make him an admittedly smart but nonetheless irritating antagonist. There are 2 particularly notable things that Twilight has to do at his request. The first is spend time with a pony named Star Tracker, after he wins a prize draw where he gets to spend the day with her. Although definitely a socially awkward fanboy with no understanding of personal space, he is still a likeable, well-meaning character. And fortunately, his behaviour comes more from obliviousness and excitement over meeting a celebrity, rather than intentionally being an annoyance. The second significant task is where Twilight has to do autograph signings for the guests, as the lengthy process unfortunately causes her to miss a presentation of the Northern Stars that she was really looking forward to. Seeing her actually start to cry because of this, before finally reaching her breaking point and snapping at her family and Star Tracker, is a really heartbreaking moment. At this point, I actually wanted to jump into the episode itself and console her. Soon after, Cadence has a heart-to-heart talk with Twilight that wonderfully helps share the episode's terrific message.
Twilight? I only made that deal with Iron Will so my family and the cruise ponies could have the vacation they wanted. What about what you wanted? I just want every pony to be happy.
Well, sometimes ponies want more from a princess than you can give, and it can be hard to know where to draw the line.
You seem to know pretty well.
Once I had Flurry Heart, the line was easier for me to see. You will always have obligations as a princess, but you also have an obligation to yourself.
I think this is something everyone can understand and relate to. And in delivering this lesson, the episode effectively reminds and ensures us that while it is great to do what you can to make others happy, it is also important and okay to think about yourself as well. We all have our own lives and our own dreams and ambitions for them, and putting yourself first is not selfish, it's essential. While I was a bit disappointed to briefly see everyone so captivated by the Northern Stars that they didn't seem to notice how upset Twilight was, except for her mum, who clearly looks and feels sad and worried for her in this moment, the episode rebounds from this with its heartwarming conclusion, which sees them all put on their own version of the show specially for her. With everything from the story, characters, voice acting, humour and message, Once Upon a Zeppelin is an episode that delivers outstanding results across the board. This may only be the first offering for Brittany Jo Flores, but if she is staying on the writing team for Season 8, then I cannot wait to see what she brings for her next episode. Definitely up there as one of Season 7's best, it gets the special Golden Star score of 10 out of 10. So that was my long overdue review of this episode. Now as always, it's over to you. I'd love to know what you thought, so please be sure to let me know in the comments. It is great to be doing this again, and I'm going to have more reviews up for you very soon. Until then, thank you all as always for watching, and keep shining on, every pony!